What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Guillaume, and I'm happy to be with you, spending another Monday of fun, answering question in whatever happened on this podcast. For some reason today, I don't have my background music running. As usual, something is not working when you're streaming. Today, not much planned, meaning, as always, the panel is up to you. The floor is open so we can have a good time together answering your question. For some reason, I don't have my chat either, so hold on. I believe it's Patrick. Hold on, Patrick. I'm gonna get my stuff working. My chat is not working. I'm gonna get my chat working. And I'm gonna say hi to everybody, because as much as I have good eyes, I cannot read on a computer that is 20 feet away from me. Sorry for that. Okay, I got a chat now. You guys can hear the music, but it's a playback problem from OBS. I usually listen to it from the console. I listen to the background music from the console. So OBS doesn't send a signal out to the console for me to listen back. I'm hearing my voice, my microphone over there, absolutely no problem. But the playback, the music playback, nothing today. So, let me first say hi, Patrick. Hi, Tom. Good evening, where you are in the world. Hello from Canada. Pancho, what's up, Pancho? Good to know that you hear the music. Charlie, one of my beautiful member. Thank you very much, Charlie, for being here with us today. Also, what's up, Poland? What's up, Bungie? I don't know where you are. I don't remember. I remember you told me, but I don't remember where. Sorry, I'm just a human. And at some point, I'm about to say that there's a lot of you guys. Always from Germany. What's up, Germany? Good. It's good to have people from all around the world here. We're a big community, and it's fun for me to entertain you guys, and you guys answering questions to each other. I believe we together are building something really cool and fun that is not that present on YouTube. There's not much. There's not many channels that are talking about live sound, especially the wing. There's a couple of guys. I don't know if Dave Rat ever touched a wing in his life, because he's the closest, I believe, one of the closest guy on YouTube to do what I do, or trying to do what I do, or am I just the cheaper, less educated version of Dave Rat on YouTube? I have another style. I have another type of content. I focus a little bit more on the production than he does, and I have a different perspective on stuff that he does, because I'm not at the same level. I'm not providing sound for Coachella, or I'm not touring with Red Hot Chili Pepper. I'm somewhere closer to the middle of the road engineering wise, since I'm doing arena from time to time. I'm doing clubs, a lot of clubs, around 1,000 people clubs, mostly. Wednesday, I'm going to go in a curling arena. I'm going to do the most Canadian gig ever that you can imagine. It's a curling competition, and I'm going out with a country band into a curling competition. How can you be more Canadian than that? It's in Ottawa, too, so it's in Ontario, capital of this beautiful country. So, yeah. So, I'm going to call you simply Matt. Thank you, Matt, for the pointer, because Mr. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that. I'm sorry. I will butcher that for sure, because I will try to say it with an English accent. So, Matt, I'm sorry. I've got to call you Matt from now on. So, I want to know if you guys had a good weekend. Did you guys have any bug? Because I'm getting more and more message on Facebook with the new update of people getting bugs. I want to know what's happening with that. I know there's a lot of people working in the background to fix bugs, especially with the Wing Edit and Copilot. So if you have a problem with that, stick around, but please be vocal about it. If you experience something, say it on Facebook, say it here. We together need to know what's happening with that. I believe the devs are watching a little bit these live stream, or watching at least the Facebook group for sure, for all the bugs, and the bugs are reported. So please, if you experiment some bugs with the Wing, with the new update, make sure to post about it. Don't yell. Go with constructive criticism. It's well received and betterly received from anybody. So on that note, let me answer the Ryan's question first. Actually, we'll read that together. Can you show us show control in more detail? It was glitchy when I tried to use it, and the save scope didn't save for each snap, which was frustrating. First, hi, Ivan. Good to have you, as always. And about show control, maybe we can dive into it together, but I'll be honest to say, lately I only spend time on the Wing when I'm with you guys. That's gonna change. My month of March was really busy, so after the 60 plus hour that I did from Tuesday to Sunday, basically Sunday morning, Saturday in the night, Sunday morning, now I have some free time on my hand, and I have less show happening in April. I apparently was good with myself and didn't overbook myself like I did in March. And it's probably because June and July is going to be like way over the top. So month of April should be easier for me, more time on my hands, so I will be able to maybe learn and do some video about the show control. But let's take a look at it together. Let's go into console view, library, and the way that I understand it is a show, and I remember Rubs told me, a show is a container for Snap, and in there you have a playlist for your Snap file and MP3 or WAV file that you can now play from the clips. So, the save scope didn't save each snap, which was frustrating. Just make sure, because I know they changed some stuff over there. If I'm gonna go like here, I'm gonna go on and first load a show, because do I have a show loaded? No, I'm gonna load that show, and we'll see what happens if I destroy my setup for live streaming. I'm gonna go open. No, nothing happened. I'm gonna remove that, and I'm gonna remove that. If I want to create a new snap, I'm gonna go save as. I'm gonna call it this isn't show. I want to go in snap. I want to go save new, and I want to call it snap live. Hold on. Live 1, and I'm gonna go save. If I select that, my understanding is I can, in the edit scope or the partial load, you can select what you want to recall from that snap, and I'm gonna go here. You can also edit some stuff from there, and you can restore from another snap. So you can also change some stuff on your snap and update. If you want to fully update that snap, you can just go confirm. It's a learning curve even for me, so don't get disappointed if it doesn't work all the full way that you want it to work at first. Give yourself some time to learn the new method, because we have a lot more option. It's a complex system, but like every other complex system, once you learn it, once you know how to use it, and you will be able, me, everybody will be able to do really complex stuff and really precise operation from a recall or recalling a snap file. So Basically, my understanding of the snap system is you have a snapshot. A snapshot is a whole console, and you can recall part of it, you can update part of it, or you can take something and create another snap with it. So this is my understanding of the snap file so far. Patrick said, to test snap with scope, no need for shows, but you want to use snap plus scope, so scope are part of the snap file. This is, this is where I'm getting a little bit lost, because I come from, hold on, need coffee. Samuel, bonjour. This is the part that I find difficult, coming from, and I'm gonna sound like an old dude here. Back in my days, I used to start doing sound with analog console. Now we move to the M7CL X32 world, where you have console that you can take basically a snapshot, because you call it a show file, it was basically recalling a state of a full console. Now we have option to recall the state of a full console, partial recall, or edit those file and save it as a new file as a partial recall. Add fade in and fade out time to that, and you get some real cool automation happening. But for me, it's a lot. My approach to scene recall was always to go one snap file or scene per band and mix from there. I understand the musical guys. I've done musical myself with an M7CL, recalling 100 something page or 100 something cues from the console, where you have that mic mute, that mic doesn't mute, and that mic is opening up, and the reverb is opening up for that song, because you go from a conversation and you recall the next one, and the reverb pops up, and those mics are closing. There's a lot of operation happening. It's like programming. We're basically programming computers. So I do not know, Ryan, the full detail of the snap file. As soon as I learn it for real, it's gonna happen this month, I will do a video trying to explain it as best as possible. But you have a lot of option. I would say first, experiment with a snap in a non-show context. Do some stuff, start with one microphone. Try to recall that, try to make it mute, go on and off, and try to play, try to have some playback stuff happening all at the same time, and do it off shows, and it should be a possible, or it should be a learning curve that you will be able to swallow or to understand quickly. Patrick said, a snap contain everything. Scope are a way to tell with the full snap of what is interest of the snap. So when the restrictive scope is in place, it save everything but the selected scope set. Okay, I understand that phrase, but there's a lot of information there and a lot of stuff to think. And once you understand I probably have the wrong word here, the deepness of all those elements that you can integrate or not in a file, because you can load some stuff. You can have a file that would say load everything but that, or load that. There's a lot of stuff happening. So one step at a time, like Patrick said, you're right, go slow, build completely new one. Build yourself a fake show file that you just upload, or go check my vlog. I have a couple show file that you guys can have fun with. Just go there, download one of my snap file that you don't know, try to fool around with it, and maybe you will be able to learn on yourself. If you cannot, if it's too complex because of the 25,000 plus parameter, thank you for the cue, Patrick. Go easy. Just and you know what? Let me tell you something. The basic of the console didn't change. We always had snap file. Create yourself a snap file. Make sure in your recall scope or your edit scope that you load the full snap and you got your show saved from there. Just make sure that you don't save a show from, hold on, here. Make sure that you not save a show here thinking that you're saving your show file. Make sure that you are in a snap. You save a new show file, and when it's time to load it, you just load that new file, and it should be the same as you had before. The only thing that we're missing right now is the per channel or partial recall for effects channel, and what else did we have? Full channel effects, and I don't remember. We used to have a third option there too. Just make sure that you take some time, double check yourself, it'll be good to go. Routing, okay, it's the routing option, yeah. Well, actually, you can still do all that stuff if you partial recall from a scene, which is where it's getting confusing. Because you can take a snap, load only certain element, like, let's say, just for fun, I'm gonna do it. Just so you know how it works. Or I believe I understand how it works. If you go low partial, you can just recall some stuff from these element, and you can select what in those element that you recall, and you can go load. So it's basically like having the old system, but now you have, I don't want to say more option, but you need to take it from a snap file and only do partial recall for that snap file. It's another way to go. It's one more layer of complexity or flexibility, depending on how you want to see it. Samuel, when you set up an external effects on the wing, there is a latency knob. Okay, yes. Is the number equal to the millisecond of latency? I believe it's simple. Let me check that out. It's been a while since I've inserted or played around with the external effects, so we're gonna use something that is on my Matrix 1. We're gonna go, sorry guys, it's gonna be funnier for you to watch here. And I'm gonna add that on my effects. So I'm gonna just go on. It's on Matrix 1. I have an external effect. I have nothing patched in there, but it's latency. So simple. Yeah, it's simple for sure, because 45 seconds would be a disaster. Millisecond would be a disaster. So what's up, Jardo? From the Netherlands. Bonjour du Canada. Hello from Canada. Oops. What did I hit? Oh, I'm on fader selecting. Hold on. Matrixes. Matrix 2, 1, Matrix 1. Nope. Which one was it? Matrix 1. There you go. So it's sample for sure, because 0 sample of latency would be the full as low as possible, because there is no choice but to have latency there, in a sense of there is simple latency created by the conversion of going in and out. So why 45 by default? Maybe some people in the chat will have the answer. I don't know why it's defaulting to 45. It could be defaulted to 0. I don't see why it's not. But if you go to 0, basically it will be the latency of the console, and that's it. Because you cannot pre-delay something live. It has to be, you cannot go back in time. You have to go forward in time. So 45 is the sample round trip from digital to analog and back. So 45 sample is the latency of the console. But Patrick, let me ask you, maybe you have the answer to this one, or Andy, you have the answer to this one. you have to use it with the mix at 100%. If okay, let's say I don't have any external effects. It's bad because I would do it. I wish I could have something right now inserted, or can I just do it with a cable? Can I just grab an XLR cable from somewhere and do it? It will be, the result will be pretty much the same, right? You guys got some really interesting question in the chat today. If you want to do hybrid, yeah, well, actually, Samuel, it's the way to go. Using the external effect is the way to go. Adjusting latency, if you are running into a DAW, from your DAW, you can have delay compensation there, because your DAW can preload and pre-buff stuff and add latency to the other channel and bring everything back in time. So you don't have any phasing issue if you don't use this as 100%. So my understanding is you have to have 45 sample of latency. So if you're not using it in 100%, at least it's in time. It doesn't create any hybrid, but I believe it's the way to go. For DAW stuff, I know it works, but I'm not an expert when it comes to DAW, but I'm pretty sure this is the best way to insert your outboard gear. If not, go take a look at my vlog that I did where I rebuilt the Dreamweaver studio in LA. I explained to Dorian and I tried to show it in the video, and my show file is there. Just download that. Go take a look at the routing that I did there. I'm using the in and out of the console to be inserted into Cubase, meaning I'm taking signal out of Cubase, sending it into an output, not going through any channel or any bus. I just direct out a channel from Cubase from the USB interface to out, bring it back in from an input in the back of the console or a DL16, and bring it back into Cubase as an external effect. I'm just using the console in that situation as a converter. So that would be one way to go if you want to use outboard gear. Just go out of Cubase, send that into your stuff, bring it back in, and in Cubase use a external instrument to enable you to have your gear in line in Cubase, not on the console. If you want to do it from the console side, the external effect is the way to go. Or the other option would be to just use a preamp from your console. So let's say that you have input 1, send that out into an output directly. You don't have to go through this external effect. Send it out from the console into the unit, from the unit back into the console into another input. Let's say maybe you want to use the aux in, because we're only dealing with line level when it comes to compressor and stuff like that. You don't need microphone preamp, and just use it on a single channel or send it straight to USB. But you will be left there with 100% mix. If you want to use let's say parallel stuff, you would have to either duplicate your channel to do that, or just use it with 100%, or use an external effect. If you're using the external effect, it will allow you to just go switch from 100% to whatever fits your need there. I hope that answered your question. J'espère que ça répond à ta question, mon chum. Gerdo had a question. Would a meter update be possible to have the channel Prefader instead of post preamp or post fader? I'm a studio user. I believe it's an option that can be done. I don't know if it's gonna be done, but I don't see any reason. I'm trying to think of any reason that it cannot work this way, and I don't see why. If you have the tap option to be pre or post in the meter section, if it was only post gain for the meter, I would say maybe there's a hardware or processing limitation. But because you have the option to have post on everything, there is no reason that you cannot see the meter. Hold on. Meters do not represent level and channels. Okay, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I did not understand your question correctly here. Let me read that again. Would a meter update be possible to have the channel meters pre-fader? So instead of post preamp or post fader. But why? Actually, hold on. What do you need pre-fader? So you can actually, you have it on the channel strip. Hold on. Do you, is this, I'm gonna turn my mic down so just we can see what's happening there. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, actually, you're right. For some reason, I thought that this one here would be pre-fader, but it's not. But I don't understand why is that a problem. If you boost your EQ channel, it will not show on the meter. If you leave your fader at 0, which in your situation I don't understand why you would not do that, it should display the whole signal chain. Meaning, if you come here in your EQ and you're boosting a lot of stuff, let's say, how can I boost some stuff? Okay. Let's say that I'm gonna use my compression and I'm gonna try to not to destroy everybody's here, but I'm gonna crank out the output. I'm gonna crank out the output a lot. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, actually it's going pre-fader. So if I'm doing this, it's gonna get louder. Hold on. Let's go post fader, send to main out. So if I drop my fader now, you guys will see my fader drop. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna crank the output of the compression. Let's go for something like really stupid. Right now, if I had a pre-fader option on, because my fader was like really low, I'm at -18. If I had a pre-fader option there, it will be clipping for sure. Because my compression, and I'm gonna crank it like a lot. And I'll try to not destroy you guys here. Right now, I'm sending for sure clipped signals somewhere between the compressor and the fader. If I had a pre-fader, it would be clipping like crazy. But when I'm listening to it, let's say, I'll try to go loud and say, hey, hey, hey. I hear a little bit of distortion, but I don't hear anything that is disturbing. I get why you want to have pre-fader option on the meter. Actually, on this one, it should be able to be pre or post. As long as you're not doing anything stupid, which I don't think you will, it would make sense. It will clip the DAW. Okay, let me, actually, I don't think it will clip the DAW. Maybe if you are using user signal post fader, we'll try to do this. I'm gonna go in the route thing. I'm gonna go in user signal, and I wanna have my talk back here. Again, wrong place for that. I need to go in output, user signal, source, user signal. And if I'm going here, hey, 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 hey. If I go tap point, or if I go post, hey, 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 hey. It's not really my, okay. I need to assign a source, channel 40. Hey, 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 hey. If I go tap point will in fact be showing some clipping. So I have some distortion going down. So you're right, we're missing that information. You could be clipping your user send if you're using the user signal, like you probably do if you want to use channel from the console. You're probably clipping that channel without notice it. Because I'm using the tap point here, that is probably post fader, I'm gonna clip. My question is, and this is a workaround, your point is valid. If you're using post, and I'm gonna try to see if I turn it up. If you're using post, I'm sound really compressing right now, but not distorted. I get your point, but if you were using post fader level on the user signal, you would have a meter that will tell you at least what's going on there. It will be my workaround. But yes, totally valid point to have a meters on the channel that you can toggle pre or post fader. Now, let's try. A user signal can be pre or post. Right now I'm using the pre option in the routing. Can I go back to my source, user signal 24? I can set it to be pre or post. But I think if you're using post, you're gonna have a better representation and leave the fader at 0. It's a workaround for now. But yes, definitely I see something that can be added here. Now let's try to, because I changed a lot of things, let's try to load what I just saved a few minutes ago. And we're back. Did everything recall correctly? I believe so. I think we're back to normal. Can you guys confirm to me that we're back to normal? While I'm reading another question from David that say, hello from Pennsylvania. Always watch your live stream, just not live. Well, today you're live. Welcome, David. It's so great to actually see it live this time, and you can actually ask a question, and I can answer them live. You're doing an amazing job. Thank you. Love learning from you and everyone in the chat. Man, I cannot thank my chat enough. Everybody that is here with us today, or usually here, or hang around here, thank you guys. You have no idea how much this community getting together is so strong. Man, thank you. Thank you. Patrick, thank you. Andy, thank you. Everybody, you guys are awesome. Okay. Question here from Samuel. Let's say I want my drum channel to go into the DAW to be processed by FabFilter, Saturn, and remove cymbal bleed. Since Saturn is 0 sample delay, would I just need to leave my external effects to 45 samples? I think Andy, yes, as long as you're not using the mixing knob. Answer from Andy, thank you very much. Latency knob doesn't have any effect. I'm trying to set the mix. Okay. So yeah, the latency is just there if you want to use wet dry, basically. Okay, makes total sense. Thank you very much for that precision, Andy. Really useful for those of you who wants to mix with external effect. Speaking of stuff that is external, Sheriff, what's up? Apparently, Acoustic updated the software so you can mix in 3D. What software are we talking about? I'm not sure what you're saying here. Acoustics update their software so you can mix in 3D. Are we talking about the PA design software? Don't remember the name of it, but it's their PA design. What's up, Hanuman? How you doing? It's been a while, man. Where have you been? Question, and this one's going to be simple to answer. Speaker manager position parameter, is this documented somewhere, or what exactly is it doing? You know, Arman. You know. No, the only documentation that we have is my YouTube videos. Do I have a PA? Yes, I do. I can go quickly over this if you want. You have on the filter side for the speaker manager, you can have your iPass filter, which is basically the first type of point that you're going to cut out. So if you want to say Butterworth 12 dB, Butterworth is the type of tightness that you have on the curve and the type of cut. You can set your iPass filter to be whatever your higher frequency speaker you want to be cut at. So let's say that you're running this on tops, so you want to take the low end out because you have subwoofer that's taking care of the low end. So high pass filter will allow you to set that crossover point if you're running a three-way system with multiple speakers or multiple voice. You can also do the same thing. Oops. Oh, come on. There you go. You can also do the same thing for the higher frequencies. You're going to set your low pass, and you can set a 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, 6-way system. I prefer 3-way system. Set it however your systems need to be. So let's say that you're running a 3-way system. You're going to have your sub with just a cut in the high, so low passing the sub. You just going to leave that energy there. You're going to have something like this for your mid-range, and let's say that you have another third speaker or third component that will taking care of only the high frequencies. As long as you set those high frequency and level, you will balance your system. After that, we have some adjustment. We have the tilt EQ, so you have the tilt EQ frequency, and you have the tilt EQ curve. If I'm doing this, and I'm gonna roll down that low pass, it will basically create like a wave in there. I'm not a system tech. I understand a little bit how it works, but I'm not a system tech. But once you set that, you have option to EQ that setup or not. Hold on. I keep hitting those fader. I'm going to change that after. Once you set your tilt EQ if needed, or other type of filter, you can have phasing problem. You can flip the phase between 0 and 180 degree. You can just have a 180 degree polarity flip, and after that we end up in the delay territory. The delay territory is not big. We have 5 meter. 5 meter will be your two source together in that processor being delayed back and forth by 5 meter, and after that you have the position. Position is if your system is not equal left and right, which I believe is your situation. So the position will delay one speaker to another by the distance that you decide there. So it will be my preferred method to align a system that is not equal one to another. After that, you have some more tweaking options for EQ, the dynamic EQ, and you have a limiter built in that plugin. Let me precise again that this speaker manager can work on a stereo pair of output. So let's say that you want to use your 4 mains for your 4-way systems. You're gonna need 4 speaker manager where you decide of the what frequency of signal do you send into your bass, your subwoofer amplifier, your low mid range amplifier, higher mid and horn, usually horn loaded for higher frequencies amplifier, and those 8 up to 8 output, because you can run your sub in mono and just use the left out of one speaker manager. Your left your speaker manager and your bus will work together up to 8. This is where I want to go with this. The 8, you have 8 line available from 4 speaker manager, and you can delay everything and adjust everything from there. Really useful tool. I would not use a processor anymore because everything that you have in here is good enough to tweak a system, especially nowadays. The kit that we have are so good sounding. Even the bad ones sound way better than before. People are aware of phasing and everything. It's like, with just a speaker manager, you can get your job done, I'm pretty sure. What filter type would you recommend for crossover? It depends on what speaker that you have. I know you are a big JBL fan, but I would check on their website. Usually manufacturers have preferred speaker cut curve that they recommend. If not, well, go with LR24. Or test it out. As long as you're using the same type of curve on all your components, it should not cause any problem. And try when you mixing up, crossover point like this, when you have your low and your high end, try to have them at the same frequencies and not have them too far apart. You can, if you have a problem, let's say and I've done that before. Let's say that you have a problem in your room at 80 hertz. You want to cut your sub at like 70 and you want to cut your tub at like 90. So that way you're going to create a natural EQ curve where you do not send energy in that room there. It should help you, but try not to stay too far apart. I'm not a system tech. This is just stuff that I learned from these guys over the years. So this is the kind of stuff that after hanging out with Piatex, they told me to like move around your EQ curve and make sure that they do not overlap, but do not have them too far apart if you don't have them exactly on the same point. Because usually my recommendation would be to have them at the same point. So let's say that you do a crossover cut for your subs at 120, then go the other way around 120 to do that crossover point. I hope that answered your question, Adman. About reverberant room. Hold on, guys. Okay, if you guys can give me a break, was not expecting somebody to visit me today, so I'm just gonna make sure that who is in my upstairs, and I'll be right back. I will answer more of your question. Just stick around, guys. Sorry for that. This is the joy of doing live stream, right? Okay, everything is fine. What's up, guys? Sorry. I have some people over that are allowed to be here. They have the key. So let me go back a little further up, and I want to see what Hawk has to say. Question say, hey Guillaume, do you know what to use an external mic as an RTA source when solo, same as you do on an X32? I don't think it's possible yet. I don't think they have that. The ability to have the RTA listen to a different source than the one than of the channel. I think it's only for now to the channel. You can only listen to that, and you cannot overlay it, stuff like that. But maybe they will come up with some useful stuff where we can use our RTA microphone to do some like smart stuff on the wing. It will be really cool feature, guys. But I know it's not a priority. Bug fix is more a priority right now. So Dolby Atmos is probably coming to your Acoustic kit. We'll see. So, Arman, for your 30 years old speaker, yeah, just EQ the GBL out of it, right? It will work. Question here from Samuel. Is it worth it to upgrade an SRX 812 and the SRX, is it the B28 is the sub? Is it worth it to upgrade for a bigger PA, something like the SRX 900? I would say only if you're doing bigger event that require more power, more, because is it going to sound better? Maybe. Are you going to spend a lot of money and having kind of the same result? Maybe. It's up to you. I'm not a huge JBL fan other than the Vertex series, so I had to deal with a VRX the other day. Man, I don't like the VRX. I don't like the VRX at all. Once you EQ all the nasty 4K and 8K out of it, there's not much left. Not a bad PA, but I mean, it's not as powerful as you would imagine to be once you EQ all the brightness out of it. Those bucks sound loud because they're really bright, basically. Hey, Arman, you're just trying to sell a PA here, right? Edgar, say something nice. Say something about the nice combinator on the master bus output. I'm not using that. Sorry. Love for the RCF HDL6. I'm a huge HDL20 fan. I'm using that PA for a couple years, a couple times every year, and in different room, in different kind of PA. Not only the one of OVTech, the shop where I used to work, because I just don't go out there anymore. But yeah, really, really cool PA. I love the RCF stuff. When you jump in that categories, like below the prime PA maker, let's say once you go below Mayer, Acoustic, the Vertec from JBL, I'm gonna put that in category. What else? Who else is doing sound? DB, DNB. Once you go a little under that, you have your RCF, your DB technology, your who else is making PA nowadays? Those guys, RCF, are like the closest to like they are the lower end of really good professional stuff. Meaning, if you give me an HDL20 in a decent sounding room with time to EQ it, it's gonna sound as good as any other PA. I can do the job really fine with they're doing the job. You know, they are your SM58 and SM57 of the show. It's not the best mic for every situation. It's not the best vocal mic or snare or guitar mic ever, but it's gonna get the job done for sure. So RCF, it's a big thumbs up for me. I tried some stuff from the Turbo Sound. The other day I was doing a wedding gig, if you want. It was not really a wedding. It was like a wedding in the private party and stuff like that. And the PA was provided by the DJ. He's got a Turbo Sound 15 inches top with the sub, the single 18. My problem is with the turbo sound in his particular kit. None of them were sounding the same. None of the speaker, I believe it's the IQ15, yes. They were sounding not flat. I had to EQ them most of them were having really resonant frequencies in the higher range. I had to EQ that out, but when I was EQing them out, I did not have the same resultant or the same result on all the boxes. Let's say I was cutting down 4K, like with a big V curve, like let's say 9 dB of 4K to make a box sound good. The other one was close to 4K, but not being exactly 4K. Maybe on the other box it was a little lower, like 3.5, 315 for those of you who played around with parametric EQ, graphic EQ, I meant. And the other one was a little closer to 5K. So I did not have the option to take all the boxes separately, because if I had the option, I would take those boxes separately, could EQ them out, you know, changing the EQ point. They're roughly the same, but not exactly the same. So what I end up doing is sacrificing other frequencies to just make sure I cut everything. So let's say on my 4K cut at 9 dB cut at 4K, instead of using a Q that was kind of narrow, just got that frequency, I went there and just like take everything out. So at least it was not aggressive, it was not bright. That created, you know, some other phasing issue between other boxes. So I would say the turbo stuff is not ideal. Want to be careful what I say, because I don't like brand bashing other than just like pure garbage. They're not pure garbage. Turbo sound is fine if you can get $2 to sound the same. If you could EQ them differently or smart them so that you can have the right, the same response on everything. My opinion about turbo, or my experience about turbo so far. Ox says, how do you feel about using the Auto-Writer plugin on main mix? For example, applying it to a band mix bus and vocal mix bus to keep vocal a few dB above the band, or would a compressor be better? I sometimes use the Auto-Writer on vocal, but never on the main bus, because I don't think my approach is always make the channel sound the way that you want. So I try to put as less stuff as possible on my main out. Sometimes a little compression. Sometimes, not always. And I mix my input so that they sound the way I want them to sound, and they sit in the mix the way I want them to sit. If I were to use a Auto-Writer, I would do it on a vocal bus, maybe, with a compressor. So let's say that I'm going to have my singer. Actually, I start to do that more and more now, especially on the X32, because I'm doing a lot of monitor on X32 recently. I'm using the channel EQ, channel compression, and after that, I'm having a 1176 on insert. Could do the same thing with a Auto-Writer. I could have, 1176 simulation on the wing on the channel, and after that having a Auto-Writer, because I'm basically using the 1176 as a auto compressor. So when the singer goes up, the 1176 goes down, bring it, bouncing around all night and keeping it at the same volume. So yeah, it will be my approach to use the Auto-Writer. I would not use it on the main, because if the band stopped playing, it's gonna try to raise the volume, and maybe it can cause you to feedback out of no reason, because you were doing really fine, being 10 or 20 dB or 10 or 12 dB lower, and when the band stopped playing, it will automatically rise and you will start to fade, and will bring it down. You don't want to dance that way. Put it on your lead vocal. Let's say that you want to keep your lead vocal higher the band, and put it in a range like 3 to 6 dB. 6 dB on each side should be enough. Depending on the band that you have, I don't know, but by experience, yeah. Really interesting one here from Sam. Acoustic versus DNB. Okay, both. DNB monitor, because I had a really good time with the DNB monitor last time I went to Quebec City. At the Grand Théâtre there, they have like 12 or 24 of those, something like a stupid amount of DNB monitor. But Acoustic PA. I had the pleasure to mix at the K3 when I did Lasso last year, and it threw the ball back at me in the sense of the PA reproduced everything that I did to the point where it was scary. I recently got a quote from RCF to upgrade our sound system to HDL26A. Really quality to performance ratio, I think. Yes, I believe the RCF stuff, you get a lot for your money, in the sense of it's not acoustic, it's not the acoustic price tag, but you're gonna get a perfectly fine, perfectly good sounding sound system with them, no question. Did you feed the turbo sound, the IQ 16, with analog or alternate? I had to go analog because we were using both input in the back of the PA. So the DJ was using input A on all the boxes, and I was using input B on all the boxes. So I could do my stuff, do my show. We were running parallel. So I could do my show. When my show was done, I could take my stuff out and he could still play music, not going through my console. And it was his sound system. So I was the guest here. He was doing his thing. So this is how I run for the turbo sound. Okay. You guys probably noticed something. And I'm gonna totally deviate of where we were going now. I made a purchase this week, and I want your guys' opinion. Have you seen or have you followed Behringer on Facebook? And they showed to me a new product, or a product that I didn't know was existing, because I believe there was some variation of that product existing before. But it was really cheap, so I bought it. I took it off the screen the whole stream just to fool around with you guys. Okay, I'm gonna put it here. Can you guys see it? Okay, I don't want to spoil you guys. I got my measurement microphone. Do you guys know why? Or can you guess why I got that out? And the fact that I'm really happy with this small microphone is totally in sync with what I just bought. And I want to do some testing, because this new unit from Behringer was so cheap that I said I'm gonna buy one. New monitors, really close, Patrick, really close. What did Behringer release a new version of this week? Can you guys guess? It's not new monitor, because there's no way I'm gonna change my Neumann for Behringer monitor. Not because I have bad experience with the Behringer monitor, is just my Neumann are so fantastic. I don't see any reason why changing it. The new synth, it will be a really close call. But no. The reason why I took my microphone out is because I plan to do a AB, no, not the air mixer. It has to do sound if I'm using a measurement microphone for it, right? Behringer release or advertise a new product than this week, or they just posted a picture of it and I was not aware that this was existing. They got in-ear monitor copy of the Shure 215. Can I get it in focus? There we go. The SD 251 CK. What? I didn't know they made in-ears. I got them on Amazon for $60 Canadian. It's $60 Canadian. It's half the price of the 215 from Shure. Really curious to try them out. I hear a lot of good, I hear mixed reviews. I can keep here. I have really mixed reviews of friends that are using the KZ or KZ in-ear and say that they have really good results. So my assumption here is that it's possible to make affordable in-ear monitor once you take the design or the technology that Shure is using and you understand how it works. Basically, if you don't have to do the R&D, you can probably make some decent sounding in-ear monitor for cheap. And Shure probably make a lot of money on those because it's probably at the quantity that they're doing, it's probably cheap or really cheap for them to produce, to mass produce in-ear monitor for everybody to use. So they probably make a pretty penny on that one. But for $60 Canadian, half of what a pair of 215 is, I want to try to unbox these, see how they sound, see how they react. And the reason why I took my measurement microphone is I cannot show you how they sound. There is no way that I could record how 41 euros. There we go, 41.50. I want to try to take my microphone, measurement microphone, and stick it to the earbud, like if it was in your ear, and try to capture a pink noise out of my measurement microphone. I want to do an A/B test, a listening A/B test, see how they fit, see how that's gonna work, and I want to see how they sound, or I want to hear how they sound. And the best way that I figure out to show you the listening experience of these is to take the measurement microphone. I'm gonna stick around my pair of 846, which is $1,000 American $1,000 earbuds. I want to see versus the pair of 215 that I own. I still own an old pair of 215, which is not new. So do they work the same thing? I would say pretty much, because a pair of used earphone is not, super expensive. You can get a pair of used 215 for like $60 here on Facebook Marketplace. So I want to know if it's a better deal. I'm not going to use a dummy head for that. Do you know how much these things cost? I'm curious, and I'm going to do the test. This will be my goal this week, is to do a test with the measurement microphone on the Shure 215. If they are any good, if they work as good as the Shure one, they will be a good buy. I'm gonna try them with a pair. I want to try them with the P1M. I have a headphone amplifier, and I want to try them with my good sound interface. I want to see if the headphone amplifier really has a tone, and if it's a good fit with the Behringer one, because I believe a lot of people will have a P1M. Is it the P1M? No, the P1 or a P2 to amplify these. But I want to give it a try. I want to do, a smart. Basically, what I want to do is to compare how they sound one versus another. I don't have any professional dummy head to measure that, but I want to, do the same test and see the difference between each earphone. Because if I, 33 US dollar, that's fairly cheap. But I want to know, if I take my 215, my 846, not the 215. This is my 846. I want to measure if I'm doing something like this. Oh yeah, it's a perfect fit. So if I'm stick my measurement microphone to the earbud and I'm holding it like this, I could probably take a good measurement because I'm isolating the mic or the capsule of my microphone from the here with the earbud. So I can probably have a low end frequencies on there of the Shure 846, and I can probably do the same thing with the SD251. I should have an affiliate link in the description, right? Because all you guys gonna buy that now just to try them out, right? Or are you guys want to buy them anyway, or are you gonna wait for are you guys gonna wait for my review? I want to know. The clear are cheaper for $39. Ordering one. Wait for the affiliate link. I need to do an affiliate link. You guys I cannot give you that tip out and not get a few penny out of it, right? And when I say a few penny, I really mean a few penny. I mean, I don't know how much in percentage Amazon is giving for I don't know how much Amazon is giving for like affiliate link, but I'm sure on a 41 euros item or 60 Canadian items, make a Thomann link. I would, yeah. I need to figure all that stuff out. Seriously, I know I'm way behind on YouTube because I just don't have time to invest right now. With the car accident of last week, with everything, you live, 2 hours away from Thomann. I know. I remember you said that. I wish I could visit Thomann one day. If anybody at Thomann watching this and want to have me around asking question that can make you uncomfortable, they're never gonna fly me over. No, if I ever visit one day, I'm gonna try to give them a call. But so far, I'm just a really small YouTuber doing stuff that is a little too wild for most company, I believe, because nobody wants to sponsor me, because apparently I say the truth, and it seems to be a big problem for companies, because I do not... okay, disclaimer, Behringer did not send them to me. I had to buy this on Amazon with my own money. It's so cheap. I mean, $60 is sometimes less than I worked for in an hour, so I just bought them, and we'll see what happened. And I'm really happy to give you a clear, unbiased, unpaid for review, because they did not send me anything here. They do. Behringer or Music Tribe or anybody at Music Tribe is not involved in this future review, or me owning these, or me owning a wing. I had to pay this with my own money. The only discount that I had is because I went with a company and I rented from time to time to them. So they gave me the friend discount on this one. Other than that, no affiliation. Behringer did not know. Actually, I had no YouTube channel back then because I started the YouTube channel with the wing. So I hope I can make something out of these. Seriously, I think it's going to be fun. That will be it for this live stream. I think I went long enough. Yeah, we did a good hour 10 minutes. I want to keep this stream a little shorter now if I don't have any reason to go a little further, because the watch time apparently is better when I'm doing an hour 15. If I'm going for 2 hour, 3 hour, people tend to not watch for as long. So an hour 15 is just entertaining enough so you guys can have, something to watch for when you're driving an hour away. But I don't want it to be boring, and you guys do not watch because it's too long, and you don't want to start a video of 2.5 hours and not watch it. Anyway, most of the playback time on these live stream is like 15 minutes. So I will do my best to do a video about these new headphones from Behringer, or I was not aware. I know they did the, you know, the Bluetooth one, like someone said before. If it's good, if it's just any good and it's fine, it's gonna be my new recommendation from now on, other than the 846. But it's a different budget, I get it. So maybe this is the perfect new beginner starter option for either monitor. We'll see. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. I have to say the YouTube stuff, like subscribe, ring the bell so you know when the live stream are starting. You'll get the notification. Also, give this video a like. I don't see how many likes that we have right now, but only 4. Come on, you guys can give me more like than that. We're 19 right now, so I can probably, guys can probably get that up to 20. Okay, already 6 like. Come on, give this video a like. Make sure to hit the like button. There you go. Hit the like button. If you want to support me in what I do, become a member of the channel. If you need a little more than that and you want to support me a little more, become a super member. And every single super member get 1 hour of free time, one-on-one time with me, with that camera right there, with that camera right there, over any phone, Google Meet, Facebook, whatever suits your need there. We can talk about your show. We can talk about your processing, the way that you manage your stuff with the console, or just plain helping you with anything that is sound related. On that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna try to do a video for these for sure next week. Until the next one, or until next Monday, I want you please to take care of yourself. Get healthy. Take care. I want to see you next week, next Monday at 1:30 Eastern Time. See you guys.